previously on the 8-Question Show.
Yes, there is a difference because health in my eyes is the mental health aspect is you're okay with who you are, life issues don't put you in a depression state or anxiety isn't overwhelming you every day of your life. So I say that because if you're not healthy in that regard, then like fitness doesn't matter.
That's why I'm front line, hand the sword. I do this all for myself, not the cash or no damn award. I need intelligence to craft my bars. I need the medicine that grows effervescent from the hands of God. I need inheritance to slash the odds, create a pipeline to the well while you grasp for straws. 8 questions, 8 questions, 8 questions, 8 questions, 8 questions, 8 questions, 8 questions.
Welcome back to the 8-Question Show. We have our good friend Coach JR, and we're about to get into something I'm actually very curious about. He's been kicking it with in the compound with us for the past 7 questions, and the final question to wrap all this up.
Yep.
Coach, what is the future of health and fitness?
To be honest, it looks very bleak to me because of how everything was handled with the pandemic.
Okay.
I know just from a small business owner in, upstate New York, I think the statistic for small gyms that closed in the state of New York is about 45 to 48%.
Damn.
Shit.
So the big box gyms are still thriving and doing their thing because they're huge. But, again, you also have people that have those memberships and don't go, and that's how they make most of their money. They're relying on people not to go.
Exactly.
That's what it is. It's the monthly
subscription.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's like I said before earlier too. It's the same thing with prescriptions. It's the monthly prescriptions that give those doctors and give those people what they need and obviously make them pretty wealthy. I think it's also bleak because of how social media is perceiving it. You have these bodies now, like I'm a fitness influencer, and that's like the standard. Like back in the day, like we talked about the Arnold Encyclopedia and stuff. Like I had to go out and find that. I had to buy that book. Now it's like you scroll, you get caught on somebody's page, and it's like, yo, that guy, that girl is so hot, so sexy. And then you see, obviously they're working out, but now you're in your head, you're like, I don't look like that. And you're beating yourself up and bashing yourself down. I think that's really what a lot of people are facing. And I think that's also why the mental health thing is such an issue, because you're just comparing yourself to these people who you think live these awesome lives. Because all they're showing is that 10 to 15 second reel 100%. That makes them look awesome, and it's filtered and it's, so in my opinion, it's not looking good. I think that there are some great coaches out there. I think there are some great teachers out there and great people that should probably be highlighted more, but they don't have 1 million followers. Yeah. Or they're not on their social media to the point of every hour of the day because they're probably in the trenches coaching and doing stuff. Like there's times where I'm training some of my top level dudes and I'm like, shit, I should have recorded that, but it's in my pocket and I'm focusing on their form and their technique and making sure they're doing shit right.
Exactly.
I mean, Nick Saban doesn't video his Alabama football program. Nope. But guess what?
He's a fucking champion.
They're unstoppable. Yeah. So it's
Georgia did beat them. Just
Georgia did come out, but
luckily I ain't gonna tell a lot because if James Williams
that's my point though, and I think that's what I mean. There are people that are like they don't feel obligated to film everything. They and to them they know what they're doing is right, and they coach that way and they teach that way. So to those people, it might be flip the switch and start putting stuff out there. Yeah, because there are some great people that focus on health and wellness and some great authors like Ben Newman, John Gordon, Ed Milet. Like I was reading all their books when I was going through that 75 Hard Challenge. Yeah. Andy Frisella. Andy Frisella is the CEO of First Form Supplement Company. And he started the 75 Day Hard because he's like, people don't do hard shit anymore.
Yeah.
You know, because everything is easy now. You know, it's either choose hard, which is what I have on one of my little things here.
Yeah.
Choose the hard path or choose that easy path. But I do think that there needs to be more positive people coming out and coaching people up to help that bleak world of health and fitness that we currently have.
Yeah.
I think more people need to, you know, show the reality that it's hard. It's a struggle.
100%.
You know? Especially because of the topics we talked about earlier where people aren't moving. You know? So this freaking fitness influencer who has the best body you ever seen, that guy on the couch is like, dude, I'm never going to look like that. Give me another burger.
But also, too, though, a lot of those things are like, it's an act. Like, these people are like media and
it's like a
fitness.
facade.
It's a facade, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're media influence. Like, they have like the women have the perfect Coke bottle shape or the perfect shape or whatever. The guys are like jacked. They do a 10-second video of them lifting weights, and then you turn it off, and they're like, okay, I don't even put this shit away.
Right.
But it's the image. Right. So it's like with women and men now, from what I just found out, you can buy all that stuff to look like you're in shape, but you're not really doing shit. Really.
So those butts aren't real, is what you're saying?
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that.
All
Some are, some ain't. I don't know, but
it's all a lie.
You know, but that's what it. But to Coach JR point, that's all you see. Like you'll see them, and because also too, you got to think about who they are and the followers they have. Because normally they'll do that, but they're sponsored by a Fabletics, or they're sponsored by some type of.
They're trying to sell clothes.
They're trying to sell clothes, or they're trying to sell equipment. Yeah. So they'll put the person who looks like the person who is in shape, put it on them, get them do 2 moves, and then their sales go. So you got to. But like you said, to that point to where the real people, if they just put the content out there to like debunk all this shit, like, no, this is what you need to do. Maybe have somebody just follow them around just with even with an iPhone. Just, this is what's happening. Chop that up and put it out there. Like, this is what's actually, but like most people respond to real shit too, though.
Yeah.
Like,
but Coach, sorry to interrupt. Is there a moment of disillusionment that you think is going to occur in this country where at some point we're not going to be able to just neglect health and fitness? And what might that look like? Or will we just get gradually less and less and less healthy, and then we're just going to have to accept mortality rates going down?
I think it's happening. I think with the amount of people that passed away with COVID, you know, again, a lot of those underlying issues were health issues, heart issues, you know, things like that. So it's happening. I think, you know, again, in the world that I live in, younger athletes, the statistics of kids quitting sports by the age of 13 and 14 is like the highest it's ever been. And that's a number of different things. That's burnout from the sport. That's, you know, going to too many tournaments and blah, blah, blah. But I think that it's on its way to happening because you're seeing the caliber of athletes declining. The length of life is declining. You know, the fitness world is being hushed. And again, going back to what we talked about earlier, the mental health. Mental health is now a serious issue amongst young kids, teens, you know, like it's across the board. So
80 to 90% of the world's antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications are consumed in the United States.
Yeah, think about, I mean, that to me is a health crisis. It's not even like, you know, like obesity obviously is terrible, but that's wild because now you're dependent, you know, to have a pill in your mouth or get something down because you have depression or anxiety. And, you know, I mean, you're just seeing it at like random times too. Like a UFC fighter just came out the other day, and credit to him, he won his fight. And I guess a few hours before his fight or a day before his fight, one of his buddies killed himself.
I saw that.
And he came out and said, like, if you need to talk to somebody, like it's a mental health thing. So that's a huge crisis, man. I saw a whole E60 series on college athletes, that the amount of college athletes, Division I college athletes that killed themselves over the past like year or two. There was a post about it, and it was like a Brady Bunch kind of platform picture, multiplied by like 20.
Oh my God!
But it's not talked about enough. You know, it's not out there every day. And yeah, I think it's happening.
No, but answer the question. But to your point though, look at how things have progressed from a technology standpoint. So think about it back in the day, right? So we would be outside. We would play with, and then video games started to come in, and then what does that do? It puts you back in the house. Technology is only going to get more better. I mean, it's going to get better, and the ease of it is going to be way more easier to use for people. So, for example, look at VR. Like you can be sitting right here, put that thing over your face, and be anywhere. Like that's going to imagine, and this is just the beginning forms of that technology. Imagine when it starts to become very, very efficient, where you don't have to leave your house to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's wild. But another thing, I saw this the other day, and this hit me hard, and I loved it because we talk about these fitness influencers and like these people on Instagram, and not even the influencers, just like your general population, right? Like even myself, like sometimes you put up a post, right? And you're like, man, that's a great post. And you're just waiting for those likes to come, right?
Yeah.
And you get like 50, 60 likes, and you're like, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Like that's a couple hundred likes. That's needed, 100%, right?
Yeah.
The post said this. It said, could you imagine if like 20 or 30 people came up to you and complimented you in a day? You wouldn't feel bad about that.
Yeah. Oh.
But you might wait a day or two and take that post down that has 20 likes because it doesn't look good on your page. And it's a perception.
Yeah.
But like when they said that, like, when's the last time somebody got complimented by 20 people?
Well, you
imagine if we did that though?
What?
That's social interaction.
Exactly.
And that's what we're losing. And that's where a lot of these other issues are stemming from.
100%.
You know? Like kids can't, I used to call them typewriter tough guys.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
you know?
man.
I mean, that,
like, those days, well, it's still here.
Now it is. That's what it is.
That's what it is. Exactly.
You know, so I think, that's it's happening, and technology really is probably the reason why it's happening.
But you look at that, like you said, like these kids too, is more so, it's what they're comparing themselves to.
Right.
Right. They look at themselves, they look at an image on social media and like, God, that's not me. And then they immediately get depressed, or they don't even try sometimes.
Yeah. Right.
Right. It's just like, because if I can't do it like that person, or if I can't look like that person, what's the point?
I remember I was a fat kid growing up, and I remember watching MTV Spring Break. I think that's what it was called. They had
Spring Fling?
Yeah, it was like a whole like extravaganza. They did 2 weeks of it. And I remember sitting there like eating like a bagel, looking at these like dudes with 6-packs dancing on the beach. And I'm just like, first of all, I'm like 14. And I'm like, why can't I look like that? Not thinking that they're like 26-year-old like fitness athlete. Yeah. But like it made me depressed. It made me sad to think how far I was from that physical ideal. And rather than inspire me, it stopped me. It stopped me.
But back when that was going on, when that ended, that show ended, or the TV turned off,
that was it.
You probably went outside, or you might have got active.
Yeah.
Now it never ends.
No,
the show never ends. The TikTok doesn't end.
Nope,
because it's another one, or it's a swipe up.
Yeah,
right.
That's what it is. It's a swipe up. It's a, let me just combat that depression, that feeling with the next model up, you know? And that's why this is all happening. Honestly, it's sick. It's sad. And then for the point you made, maybe you can't live up to that guy, right? That athlete that's, running a 3.940, like exactly. Crazy shit. But a lot of these athletes, these young athletes are taking their phone to the gym or the track. They're doing one or two things. We're working hard today.
Exactly.
And they're filming that moment, and then they're done.
That's it.
They're not putting any reps in.
No.
They're not putting hard work in. They're getting like one or two cool looking shots, and then they're either see you later, so their workout was shortened by however, or they're at the track all day because they're not doing work. They don't get tired.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like
100%.
that's what it is. Like I tell a lot of my athletes that. I'm like, your buddies are sitting in the gym doing squatting this, doing that, and they do one rep or whatever. They're not doing multiple reps. They're not doing multiple sets. They're not putting in hard work.
Without question.
I think the social media thing is really crushing it.
And you have this shit too, the misinformation.
Yeah.
See, people prey on people's insecurities. So they'll say, so that person will be looking at the phone, and then you'll see an ad pop up. You want to look like this? All you got, click this button to look like this.
Yeah.
And that person who's sitting there, who's not in shape, clicks the button, and you got to eat boom, 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 boom. And in 2 weeks, you'll look like, hey, pay me $1,500 and then you'll do it. So what you'll do, because you're insecure, they're preying on that part of your self-esteem. You paid a crazy amount of money. You do exactly what the hell they tell you to do. And you may gain 15 more pounds.
It's always been a thing, but now it's so in your face all the time. Women used to take tapeworms. Did you ever see this?
No.
Back in like the 40s, 50s, you can buy tapeworms from magazines. So you can eat the eggs, contract tapeworms, because it would put you in a caloric deficit with no effort whatsoever.
That's fucking
crazy.
And
it became a problem. So like they were always preying on that.
That's crazy.
They were always preying
on
that insecurity. But now, I mean, it's there on your phone all day. It's not just a little weird article on the back of some magazine.
Right.
It's always in front of you.
Yeah. I think it should be different things too. Like, okay, like if you're age this, body types this is what you should strive for. Not be, but strive to look like this. Right. Or whatever the case. So you can at least be like, okay, well, I may not look like that, but I can strive to be in shape or whatever the case may be, as opposed to like, if you're not this, then you're just not doing it.
So if we were going to sum up this entire series on physical perfection, what are some overarching points that you think resonated throughout every single one of these questions that's worth reiterating? Throw them all out.
I mean, being happy with yourself overall, I think is definitely a concept that we got to talk about when we're talking about wrapping it up, because physically, you have to be able to look in the mirror and be comfortable with yourself.
100%.
I definitely think that's one. Again, from my world of what I do, I think you need to put fitness into your life. If you're looking for a physical standpoint, then fitness should be a part of your world, daily. And then like the nutrition, I think physically fueling your body, eating healthy is going to help the physical side of things. I also think it's going to help the emotional, the mental, and a lot of other things. Those would be definitely some ones that I would take from our talks.
I like the concept of health, mental health, being a part of health. I also like the points that you brought up, Coach, regarding have fun. If you're not the type of person that wants to go to the gym, but you like hiking, you like surfing, you want to go out and walk the dog, out in the countryside, and that's your thing, do it.
100%.
Stay active. Movement counts.
I mean, think about kids. Just go play.
Go play.
100%.
Go play, man. I mean, that should be fun.
100%. And for me, it's more so, yes, be active. Make sure your mental health is right, but don't strive to be perfect, because no one is, right? You're going to have it. So I think a lot of people on journeys, what they do is they try to be perfect. And the one misstep, they think that everything has been ruined, right? So even though the series is called Physical Perfection, don't strive to be perfect, because there's no one's perfect. You're going to stumble. You're going to fall. You're going to have your weak days, your weak moments. But if the majority of your moments are not weak, and if you are, you're winning. So that's what I got out of this whole thing, for sure.
Coach JR, thank you so much.
Thank you.
If our listeners want to follow you, your work, how do they get a hold of you?
Our website is believeyourelite.com. You can go check that out and apply if you're interested. Our Instagram is Believe Elite Training. And those are probably the two best sources. You can DM us on that page. And again, reach out if you are looking for some help or need some guidance or whatever it might be.
There we go. Coach, thank you so much for kicking it with us in the compound.
Appreciate it.
This has been fun for me, very informative for us. I'm pretty sure it's been informative to our viewers and our listeners. So I can't wait for our next series. Just tune in for that. We'll see y'all next time on the next episode of The Question Show.
They associated marijuana with violence and with immigrants, and printed that in the newspapers, and it's the yellow journalism of the time, and it was very much driven by a political agenda and fueled by xenophobia.